What's going on, guys? It's Matt Savior here, and I'm back for SCL Season 6. So I'm probably to pronounce that I will be doing SCL Season 6 as the Delta Dragon as this season. I will not be coming back as London Luxrays because I would like to start something new, something fresh here in the SCL community. So my channel is practically going to be filled of SCL content because this season we're having 2 divisions. So yes, 2 divisions this season. It's going to be extra hype. There's going to be returning players in 1 division and newbies in 2 divisions. Yes, like I said before, this league is made by iShot11, DJ Black, and okay. So I just want to thank them for letting me join this league once again. But this channel, if you guys want to be caught up with SCL, this is the channel to do it. I'm going to do power rankings for both divisions. The Veterans division is called Omega Ruby, and the Rookie or Newbie or the noob people are called Alpha Sapphire, like the 2 games. So yeah, I'll be doing a power ranking for Omega Ruby in this episode. This will be my very first episode, and then do a power ranking for Alpha Sapphire. And right now, week 1 is currently happening, and I still have to do my week 1 matchup. So when I do my week 1 matchups, you'll see in maybe in a few days. I'll talk about like the matchups between each things, and it'll be one video of both divisions. But yeah, so moving on forward, I'm going to talk about the power rankings for Omega Ruby only, because I don't have a lot of time right now with school, and I'm in a bunch of other leagues right now, and it's just been a little bit hectic right now. So I'm going to really like order who do I think has the best draft in SCL, like in Omega Ruby SCL right now. But yeah, so stay tuned. I'll be doing power rankings for every single week on who I think deserves the 1 to 10 slot. But yeah, so moving on, you know, SCL has been in a draft league format like this. It's been in a draft league format, and usually you go 3OU, 3UU, 3LU, 3NU in the basic Smogon tiering. But SCL likes to mix it up a lot with different tiering. But this season, we went from custom tiering, and there was tier 1 to tier 4, and you got to pick two tier picks per thing, and you get 175 free points. Tier 1s will 100 points, tier 2s were 75 points, tier 3s were 50, and tier 4s were 25, and the mega counts for your tier 4 pick, your free pick, so it didn't count as your tier 1 pick, so you had to pick up your team like that. So, on the left, this is the Mega Ruby division right here. This is all returning players, including the 3 owners, and then over here on the right is the Alpha Sapphire division with everyone over here that's been new and been added to SCL. So, I'm not going to touch Alpha Sapphire really in this video until now, but I'm gonna head over to the Mega Ruby division right now. So let's get jumped into it. As you can see, this was the draft order. iShot11, Will, Papu Centrios Faded, myself, Pitt, Silvio, Merke, and Kian. I will be doing a draft analysis video of my draft. I'll talk a little bit about it in this video, but I'll probably have a whole separate video on what I think and what was it gonna go through with my draft. But yeah, so moving on. So I want to put out a disclaimer right now, guys. This is not like harsh criticism. I don't think anyone has a terrible team in this thing. It was very hard because there's only 10 people and a lot of good mods. There's gonna be a lot of good teams, but it's very hard to rank these teams from 1 to 10. But yeah, and plus I'm also in it, so it has to be somewhat non-biased. And I'm telling you this now, I am not number 1, and I do not think I have the best team. I have holes in my team. I'll explain this one more going on forward. But yeah, so we're gonna start with number 10. Like I said, I have all these team layouts right here. So every single person's team is in this folder. As you can see, I have other things going on in the background, but don't worry about it. It'll make sense very soon. So, like I said, number 10 was kind of hard because no one has a crap-ass team. Like, everyone has a core. I think everyone has a Fire, Water, Grass core or Dragon, Steel, Fairy core, except, like, a couple of people. But people still have good Wish Passers, Offensive Mons, Stealth Rock users, Defoggers, U-turn Volt turns. They have checks for ground types. They have flying types. They have, everything. Like, there's no really bad team, so it was really hard to rank these. But going off of draft purposes, I do think going into the draft that the New York Necrozmas do have one of the, not the best, strongest team. He does have very threatening mons in Crocodile, Thunderstone, Gallade Mega, Honchko and Heatran can put a thing, and he has his spin support with Cryogonal and Blastoise. He also has defog support with Honchkrow. Escavalier can be a very big defensive threat. Heatran adds a really good aspect with Heatran Florges. It's an amazing core, don't get me wrong. He is lacking a really good Dragon type to finish that really good Dragon Fairy Steel core. Don't get me wrong, he has an insane team, but there's a bunch of flaws that I've seen in his team. Thunderstarian, he doesn't have an insane reliable spinner, so he has to bring Blastoise every single week. He really can't deal with a lot of bulky ground types. Thunderstarian can come in, Blastoise can come in. I guess he can bring Go-Goat a couple times, but Blastoise doesn't have reliable recovery other than Leftovers, Rest, and Aqua Ring, and I really don't think he'll bring a lot of the, he might bring Rest and Aqua, Resto Chesto, maybe one match, but I don't think he'll bring, a reliable recovery that can keep Blastoise coming in on Stealth Dogs, even if they Spike Stack against him, Toxic Spike Stack against him. I don't think Blastoise and Cryogonal can keep coming in, trying to get rid of these hazards. Yes, he has really good hazard setters in Kook and Heatran. I do think Kook is one of a great hazard setter with his ability to Intimidate. Thunderstarian is just scary overall. It's a really big threat in this meta. I do love Mega Gallade. The only thing is Mega Gallade's speed stat is 80 on the first turn that he has to. So if he wants to get that 110 base revenge kill on something like a base 100 like Manaphy or Victini or Jirachi or something like that, he's gonna have to waste a turn and take a hit from one of those hard hitters as well. Which could really, really hurt him unless he's running Protect, and that takes away from Gallade's insane move pool, because Gallade can run Physical and Special, he can run Setup, he can run Sub, he can run a lot of things, and Gallade likes to utilize that full moveset more and more. But other than that, Florges and Heatran is an insane core. I'm really excited to see Silvio use, a team like this. I know he's making a couple trades, but I don't know if he traded this as his trade team, but I'm not too sure. But I know he's making a couple trades here and there to spice up his team a little bit, but I do like where he's going with it. I just do not think he, has the core synergy, I guess. Core synergy. He has Volt Switch with Volt Switch Momentum with Thunderstarian, but other than that, I don't really see U-turn awesome. I don't think Honchko gets U-turn. No, it doesn't get U-turn. So he only has really a Thunderstarian wall as well. Ground types kind of go through his team here and there. Florges is very special defensive, and you see a lot more Earthquakes than you do Earth Powers. He can run Air Balloon Heatran, but it does dwindle his ability. Heatran is a very versatile Mon. Don't get me wrong, it's an insane Mon, but I really do like what Silvio has done with his team. I just find that you can poke a little bit of holes in it, and it's going to cause problems with him, because Thunderstarian is an insane wall breaker. Don't get me wrong, but 25% to rocks every single time, and he has to bring Cryogonal, Honchkrow, or Blastoise to get rid of rocks. That could really dwindle his power that he has, with Gallade and Heatran and Crocodile, trying to get rid of rocks from Thunderstarian. As well as, he has, I think he has, pretty good wall. Florges insane special defensive wall. But physical-wise, he doesn't have a lot on the physical side. Escavalier has 105, and Blastoise has 100. And same with Heatran, but, Heatran has all-around good base stats, as well as Crocodile can be a defensive mon with Intimidate. But, yeah, don't get me wrong, his team isn't out for the count. I really do think Silvio can bring this up. He is a tremendous battler. I do think he's one of the biggest threats in this game, in this draft league right now, especially out of the 10 of us. I really do think he can surprise you with some insane sets. You do have to be careful of, Gallade. Gallade's a monster with special defense. But other than that, he's still my number 10, but, I do think he has potential with this team, but it's just not, on paper, the best team there. So, yeah. So, good luck to you, Silvio. I really want to see you do really well this season. I am rooting for you, even though you're against my team, against me, sorry. But yeah, even though that, not on paper you have the best team, but I do think battle-wise and, strategy-wise, you will come up on top on opponents. But yeah, so going into number 9, sorry, this was also a top-up, Silvio, this has, not a lot, there's not distinct people on the bottom, it's very, very hard to put, but I do think, the Cardiff Mates do have rank 8 on my power ranking right now. Don't get me wrong, he has some very, very good defensive threat, like defensive bulky mons with Mammo. Starmie's an insane spinner, best bulky spinner, like water spinner there is. Arcanine is best defensive fire type in the meta, hands down, easy. Togekiss, sorry, Aegon Mega, Shuckle. The only thing I really think he is lacking is, like, offensive power. Because Mammo can run one or two ways. He can run Stealth Rocks, he can run Sash, he can run Scarf. If he runs Ban, he runs Ban, but Mammo's not the fastest one. It's one of the best wall breakers in the game, don't get me wrong. I do think it is worth a round 1 pickup, especially in Gen 6. If I didn't mention it, it's Gen 6. But yeah, I do think he has a very good wall breaking ability with Mammoth's and Jolteon and Noivern are very, very fast that help his speed stat a lot. Mega Aegon's really good, and he does make that the Dragon Steel Fairy. No, he doesn't have a fairy. Oh yeah, he does with Dedenne, but Dedenne's not a. Oh wait, no, he's Togekiss. I'm so stupid. Sorry. He has a Dragon Steel Fairy Core. Other than that, it's very susceptible to electric types. Yes, he has Mammo. Yes, he has Mammo. I know. But electric types, Jolteon can absorb, and Mammo. He has 2 checks, and both of them are sweepers. Mammo can come in, like, some of the times on some stuff, but if he gets, like, a lot of chip, like I said with, Sylveo's Blastoise, Mammo does get chipped, and he ends up going down, because he takes 12% to rocks, and, he does get chipped here and there. Starmie is a really good spinner. He makes a really good speed stat as well. That can be very, very threatening to people. Arcanine is just a bulky thing that has to go, and it's an insane fire immunity for Mega Aegon. It takes away one of his worst weaknesses in fire types and walls it out with Arcanine. The only thing is I'm really scared of him misusing this team because I feel like really, really good wall breakers like Kieran Black, Lando, Latias, Mega Scizor, Greninja, something like that, or like T-Tar or Landorus Incarnate, something like that. I feel like can try to get through his team, just like to poke holes, and he's too constantly trying to like play defensive, and he doesn't have insane offensive power, but it's still there and it's still threatening. Don't get me wrong, but you can easily poke holes into his team and get a lot of chip on him. He does have a lot of good Pokemon with reliable recovery, like these 3 right here, insane reliable recovery, but everything else can get chipped and dwindled pretty down. Togekiss and Starmie are his only rapid spinners, but he does have Volturn with Noivern, and Jolteon is 2 fast mons, which I love about him. And Scrafty's pretty bulky. It's very, very threatening in this meta. As well, and plus, he does cover up Mega Aegon's weaknesses very, very well. I like to put out with Fire. Togekiss, immune to, quad weak to ground. I mean, not quad weak to fighting, immune to ground, sorry. But yeah, he can easily get predicted that he's going into Togekiss, his bulky flying type, compared to Noivern. I don't think if he brings both of them, it will be a decent idea, but you can really, really get around, like, prepping with him, because you can predict a Mammo swipe. Switch in with his on the ground type there. Really trying to dwindle out his team. But overall, I do think Will has a really, really good team, and you should not sleep on it. You shouldn't sleep anyone in this league, but, like, honestly, you really, really could put holes in his team as well, as I could see. But he also can put holes into you. So good luck, the Cardiff Moops and William Castelli-Cone. As well, I would like to see you do well in this league as well. I like to see you move up in the standings and really put a threat on SCL. So next, moving on to my number 7 spot. I do think this person has a really, really good team, but it has a couple weaknesses here and there, pardon me. I do think you can poke holes on this team, and this is the Ashburn Snorlaxes. So, the Ashburn Snorlaxes drafted in an immensely really good team. I do think he has tons and tons of weaknesses, but he also has an insane amount of pros that also, like, switch out with those cons. The first thing I see here is no ground type. So Volt Switch all day, every single day. Get in there. Literally you can just momentum switch him on everything, because he does have insane bulk. He has Venusaur, Gudra, Volcanion, and Cresselia. 4 insane Well, I don't think Volcanion's it's pretty bulky, but like it's an bulky offensive attacker. You can just get in there, get mad chip on these, and Durant and Mienshao are pretty frail on the special side. So these two was his mostly big fast sweeping threats there. They're both very, very scary offensively, but they do get shut down both by burn. He doesn't have a really big, scary, fast offensive special type, which I think special attacking fast Pokemon are really, really dominant in Gen 6, only because there's Burn. That's all I'm going to say. He does have Volcanion, which is insane with specs, and he has its number one wall to Volcanion is Goodra, but he also has that on team, so Volcanion is going to be very, very hard to switch in onto Steam options unless you have Water Absorb or like something, or Storm Drain or like something like that to absorb water type moves. But other than that, Volcanion can have pretty good coverage moves as well, and can run special or physical, so you got to be ready for that. Venusaur, Mega, and Volcanion are insane core together. They're just in both bulky walls that you can't really get by. Ground types with really hurt his team. He does have Articuno and Cresselia. But Cresselia is a bulky Levitate user, but if you have a Mold Breaker, like Haxorus or Excadrill, you can really get through Levitate, and you can just dominate this guy with Earthquake. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of good switches in other than 2 Levitate users and Articuno that takes 50% to rocks. Speaking of rocks, he has only Articuno to take down rocks, so you can easily get 25 off on Volcanion, and you can get easy chip on Venusaur and Cresselia and Goodra that could really help you, as well on Mienshao and Durant to prevent him doing Sash. His only defogger is Articuno, but it takes 50%, so yeah, you'll be kind of in the clear here and there. But other than that, I think Centrios' team is pretty good. Other than like the fact that his speed stats are okay with fast minus 109. Other than that, like he doesn't have he has really good bulk, but other than that, like his offensive pressure is like kind of there. Volcanion and Goodra can threaten you on the special side, and Mienshao and Durant can press you on the physical side. But if you can get through, like if you can get them really low and like get them chipped and stuff, you can really put holes and just punch through his team with one good setup sweeper, and like you easily can win that game there. So yeah, that is my power ranking on Ashburn Snorlax and the coach Centrios. But like I said, Centrios, hopefully you do well in this season of SCL. I know that you have some flaws in your team, but I know you can get around them. I really do look really excited for you I want to see you grow more as a player. I want to see like what you've been packing. I know that you've been working on this team here and there, but overall, I do think you have a good team. You just have a little bit here and there. I know you you drafted this. Like you thought about this, but I do think it's a good team with a couple holes that you can easily fix. So, next moving on to number 6. Number 6 was pretty hard because we're getting into the top 5. So, sadly, this team I did not think make the cut to top 5. Top 5, and I put in the number 6 slot only because I don't see a lot of synergy in this team, and then it is the California Cactuans and the team and the coach. Pupper Senpai, sorry. So, looking right off his bat, he has Dugtrio that is allowed to use the Arena Trap. It's super scary, especially with Momentum, and it goes right hand to hand with Pinsir Mega. Like with Centrios, I do not see a defogger on this team. So Stealth Rock, Sticky Webs, any hazard setup will really hurt him. Especially with Mega Pinsir taking 50%. Keldeo is his fastest mon on the field with 108. Oh, no. Sorry, Dugtrio is. But with 120, and Keldeo coming in as his second fastest Pokemon. Keldeo's a very underrated Pokemon in the meta, on Gen 6 meta. Other than its move pool, like I know its move pool is trash, but its stats are really good in special attack. Reuniclus and Snorlax are really good walls to patch up together with both really good HP stats. Gastrodon is also a very good ground type to hold other than Dugtrio. I know that Snorlax and like a lot of his Pinsir Mega can eat up a lot of grass hits for Dugtrio, Gastrodon, and Keldeo, but you can easily try to get a Predictin and run like an HP Grass. It kind of gets through a little bit of his team. These two are probably going to be his main walls, and they do build off each other with Keldeo, because Green Nicholas doesn't like Dark. Keldeo takes Dark a little bit, and then Fighting takes Green Nicholas. But here and there, Gramble is still his other good fairy type. He has a Dragon Fairy, Steel Core, and these three, Gramble, Druddigon, and Magneton. Druddigon is probably really, really good Stealth Rock user, as well as Gastrodon. Wait, did Gastrodon get Stealth Rock? No, it doesn't. Never mind. Druddigon and Dugtrio are really good Stealth Rock users. But yeah, I can't really say a lot about his team because I don't know how he'll use his team, but I do think it's a pretty good threatening team. It deserves this spot, I do think, because he doesn't have a lot of synergy. Does this thing get U-turn? No, it doesn't even get, I don't think he has a single, oh, he's a Volt Switch Mon. You don't get U-turn. So there's one Volt Switch Mon and Magneton, so he's gonna hard switch all day on you. You can easily get a lot of momentum on his Stally/Wally team with Dugtrio. Dugtrio Arena Trap does prevent you from switching out unless you are Flying or Levitate user. So he can get you in there with a momentum and set up with Mega Pinsir. I feel like that's somewhat of his strategy. But you can hinder that useless a lot if you just run Roar or something like that, or a Shed Shell, or something can phase you out. But yeah, other than that, I do like Pupper's team. I don't know how he's going to use it here and there, but he does have some good mods. I just don't see a lot of synergy with his team, and I don't really see a lot of big cores that are there. He doesn't have a grass type or a fire type, which really surprised me. But yeah, so good luck, Pupper. I really do want to see how you're going to work out with his team, because it's certainly interesting. And to be honest, I'm kind of confused on how you're going to work this team out. I do think that you can definitely strive and persevere to make this team very, very good in this league. So yeah, I'm really, really excited. So moving to the top 5, I wanted to look for people. I wanted not to put my team so far up because I feel that's biased, and I do not think I have the best team. But here and there, I do think my team is a little bit better. So I did put my team over this team. First, it is the Hamilton Houndoons. So the Hamilton Houndoons have a really good team. He did trade Tornadus Therian for base Scizor. I will update that right now. So making that trade makes him have another defogger other than Mew and Togetic as well. Lewis has a very, very good team, a very threatening team with that Megalop Mew. Now Rotom, he and Greninja and Scizor will work well together. He doesn't have a grass type, so he doesn't finish that core, but he does make, he doesn't even make any cores, sorry, actually. He doesn't have a good dragon type either, but he does have very, very threatening bonds, and Togetic and Mew and Scizor and Megalop. Rotom, Greninja is very, very scary. He has a very good speed tier, with Megalop, Greninja, and Mew. Plus Miss Magius and Emolga make a really, really good speed set. And he has a decent defense with Rotom, and Scizor, and Togetic can be a really good special defensive wall. Claydol and Seismitoad can be there as well. I don't see a lot of type weaknesses, but I do see a lot of potential for getting some over predicts. He does have a very good U-turn Volt Turn core in all 4 of his mons here, and he has a Molga with Volt Switch, and he has good spinners and defoggers as well. I do think he has a very, very good rounded team, but I do feel like he's gonna lack on a little bit of offense, relying more on Megalop to be on his offense. I can see him on Swords Dance Scizor, which could be very threatening, and Specs Greninja could be very, very threatening. Mew could be very, very threatening but I feel like he has to bring a very good defogger, he has to bring Scizor defog, so that really hinders him from running a really good attacking loose Scizor set. It does hinder him a little bit more to take rocks because Scizor doesn't resist, as well as Togetic. He has a very, very good team. I don't think he has a very good reliable ground type as well. Claydol and Emolga, 2 immune to ground, the same with Seismitoad. But if you slap an HP Grass on Seismitoad, I guess you can run Rando. But you can really get around his team here and there. His speed stats are there, but it depends on what he's actually going to run this week. So he is very, very threatening because he does have a ton of mixed attackers in these two. Because Seismitoad can be mixed. But Megalop is probably one of the biggest threats in this meta, and he has it in his back pocket here. Out front, Lewis has a lot of things you need to deal with on paper, but overall, I feel like he can easily get a lot of chip off, not be able to recover his Megalop as he wants to. You might have an issue of recovering, and same with Scizor, just because a lot of big wall breakers, like bigger wall breakers than like everything except Megalock, might get through his team a little bit more. But other than that, I feel like he can handle it pretty well. The one thing I was really looking at Lewis's team, like his base stats are all over the place. Like his total base stats, like he has 55 like here special defense, and like he's like kind of lacking in like some of these defensive areas in like stats at least, compared to like other walls, like when I was talking about Puppy, Nicholas and Seismitoad have really good base stats like with HP. I feel like that might a little bit hurt him if he takes a lot of chip from Stealth Dogs or Stacks or like Volt Turn or something like that. But yeah, other than that, I do think Lewis has a very, very good team, and he's still an top threat in this league, and you should not sleep on him. I know he's going to mix it up this season, and I think that addition with Sizzle really, really did help him up over Tornado Stallion. But yeah, so moving on. Wait, did I mark these right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't mark these right. What the heck? Wait, what? Okay, wait, number 10. Sorry. Number 10. Number 9. Oh, number 9. Number 8. Number 7. Oh, geez, I didn't count right. I apologize. So, Lewis is my number 6. I apologize. And then, no, sorry. Lewis is my number 6. Apologies. So, Lewis is my number 6. I really do deeply apologize. I made a grave mistake. So, New York Necrozmas is my number 10. Ashburn Snorlax, Cardiff Moves on number 9, Ashburn Snorlax number 8, California Lanterns is number 7, Hamilton Houndoom is number 6. So going into number 5, apologies, going into that, so the Summit Sceptiles, are my number 5 team, sorry, I really don't know why, because then I have 4, 3, and then I'm missing 1. Okay, so the Summit Sceptiles are my number 5, and the team Faded Keys here, I do think Faded Keys has a very, very good defensive team with Mega. He has an insane Dragon Sphere Steel Core. He just has overall insane bulk. With the Alomomola Fortress, with Ditto preventing setup sweep on him. Latios Mega being his fastest mon and still a very good offensive threat as well as a defensive threat. Gliscor with his ability, like Poison Heal with his be able to defog and be able to set up Stealth Dogs, be able to set up Fortress as well. It can set up all hazards and he can spin them away. Clefable's just a very good dominant fairy type in this draft, in this league, sorry. But yeah, overall I do think it still has very good potential. You need to watch hazards against Faded. Faded will set up hazards like these 3 set up really good hazards. Weezing and Toxicroak set up T-Spikes. You set up Stealth Rocks. Like, he will trip you, try to chip you a lot down in it. And I think it will work. Honestly, he has enough bulk that he doesn't need offensive power. But on that other side, I put in number 5 because he doesn't have insane offensive power. He has Latios and Gliscor, Toxicroak, I guess Choice Band, Aegon, and X Cloud. He does have Pachirisu, the God, so you gotta give him here and there. But here and there, I do think that Volt Switch can destroy his team. A Volt Switch U-turn can really, really switch out on his team. You really need a Heal Bell Clerk against him, because Alomomola toxic, Fortress toxic, Gliscor can't be status because of Poison Heal possibly. But I do think Volt Switch and U-turn, do destroy his team. You can get Gliscor on a nice HPS predict, to really put a hole in his team. A good electric type kind of destroy him. He does have Latios over the top, but U-turn can get there, and you can get some checks if he's running a bulky setup Latios. You have to be very, very careful because actually, while Clefable can set up, a lot of things can set up. There's not a lot about to say about his team. I don't know how he's going to run it. He has an insane bulk defense. It's going to be very, very hard to punch through it, especially with different types of mons and stuff. But yeah, you just have to wait and see, and I'm really excited. Sorry if this is really short because I really don't know what you're going to do, and I'm really, really excited to see what you're going to do. The only thing why I'm putting it to number 5 because I don't think he'll have enough offensive power. He might just get Stealth Dog set up on him, and he can't really get them down to Fortress because if Fortress gets one shot, it could go a little bit wrong here and there. Maybe get some RNG, I guess. But here and there, I don't think he has that offensive power that other teams have that can really, really punch holes as well as being a very good defensive threat. I think Latios can really, really do punch holes in other teams, but that is a solo mon, and he does have really good team synergy, but he doesn't have insane momentum like I've watched. He has Volt turn with Patrice and Gliscor, but I think that's about it really. And Ditto does prevent setting up on him, but like pure power mons like mons like Lando and Q and Black can like really punch holes in his team. Like Lewis's Rotom, he can do really, really well against his team. But yeah, other than that, I'm really, really excited to see Faded in this season once again. So moving on to my number 4 slot. So this is my number 4 slot. I do think Delta Dragonaires do have the number 4 seed. So this season, I do have this team. I don't know how to spell Dragonair, so you're gonna have to deal with me. I do have this team. I do have a very, very good Firewater Grass Core with Victini, Melodic, and Tangrowth. I do think that is very, very good. Very, very good. Defensive and offensive core. Victini can just punch holes, one of the best wall breakers in the game. Melodic can be very, very threatening special wise, and Tangrowth is just a beast monster. And I do have a very good. I do think I do have a very good Fairy Steel Dragon Core and Mega Amp, Sylveon, and Excadrill, which we could really, really hope. I did have Sigilyph for Zoroark, but I did drop that for my free FA. Other than that, I do think I'll have an issue with hazards a lot. Flygon and Excadrill are my only really ways to get them down. I do think that Sticky Webs and Stealth Rocks really, really could hurt me in this situation, as well as ground types, because my three offensive wall breakers are super effective against Earthquake, and I easily can get a quick predict into Melodic or Tangrowth, like with like a T-Bolt or a Flamethrower or something, or coverage in HP Ice. I could really get hurt by that. But I do think I have enough offensive power to get the job done. I just don't think my team's out there to be the best. I can't really threaten people with a lot of hazards. I do have Piloswine and Leavanny and I guess Excadrill as well for hazards, but I can't really deal a lot with a lot of hazards. I can't really set them as well, trying to get my threat out there. I was thinking of running Sand, but like I couldn't really be bothered to put that out there. But other than that, I do think my team is pretty threatening. I do have a very good Volt turn in Victini, Zoroark, and Ampharos Mega. Even though Ampharos Mega isn't the fastest, it does get that ability More Breaker, so all the Volt Absorbers and stuff and the things do get destroyed with its 165 base special attack stat. And Victini can also come over the top with some V-Creates. I do have 2 Mold Breaker Pokemon, so Levitate is inexistent against me, practically, with Excadrill as well. But yeah, so I do put myself as number 4 slot seed. So moving on, I do think the Dallas Metaghosts do have a very threatening team. It is my number 3 on this list of the power rankings for Mega Ruby, and their coach, DJ Black. I do think Keen has a very good dominant Sandforce and Tita Lando. They do cover each other's weaknesses insane, with Tita's weak to ground and fighting, and Lando's Incarnate really does soak them up. And with I guess they have water weakness, but ice is probably Lando. HPS is probably Lando's one of the best thing that Lando does, and Tyranitar does soak up ice moves as well as Metagross. Jellicent's there to water absorb all the water weakness away, which is very, very good, as well as Tyranitar and Hitmontop do cover his dark weakness as well as Mega Altaria to make that Dragon Steel Fairy Core, Mega Altaria, Metagross. Rotomo's a pretty good Levitate user that he added onto his team. Audino's a pretty good Wish Passer, as well as Muck can be very, very threatening with bulky sets. And while adding on Sand Rush, Sandslash could be very, very threatening. He does have a lot of good spinners in him on top Sandslash. He can run Defog with Mega Altaria. Does this thing get Defog? No, it doesn't. That's not Gen 7. But Stealth Rock with Metagross, Tyranitar, and Sandslash can be very, very threatening. I do think Keen does have some weaknesses here and there. He doesn't get an insane reliable recovery. I guess Altaria, Audino, and Jellicent are his only way. But if you do get Chip on Lando, you can really end his game right there. Especially because he only gets Sand Force Sand Force, sorry. So he only does damage, so it doesn't up his speed. So 101 is one of his fastest mods. He does get Sand Rush, Sand Slash, so it does double his speed. But I do think his team is relatively slow, so you can easily speed creep it. Being base 101 is his fastest speed thing, but I do think ground types do destroy his team. Even though he has Lando and Rotom, I don't think that will be enough to because they're both weak to ice actually. But I don't think that will be enough to like stop the threat. I know Jellicent, like the physical defensive Jellicent, can put in work, but Jellicent doesn't really want to come in on earthquakes. Come in and take 2 earthquakes. I guess him on top can stop them with Intimidate, but here I do think ground is very, very dominant against Kian, especially like my Excadrill or like Lando, like I said before, or other like ground types like Krookodile or something can really, really hurt his team a lot. I guess Altaria can soak them up a little if he doesn't Mega, but it's very, very hurting because Altaria's base like Mega, like regular Altaria stats are like horrible compared to Mega Altaria, but I do think ground type really, really hurt his team, as well as he doesn't have an insane Volt Switch U-turn combo, and the synergy does work off against these well, but it's very, very linear. He does have Volt Switch with Volt Turn, with Lando and Rotom. But yeah, other than that, I do think Kian has the 3rd best team in the league. So sadly, for some reason, this team that I had didn't copy. But yeah, I'll go over to it quickly on the roster. It is the Baltimore Blaziken's. Here, I'll quickly put it in a doc for you. I apologize. I do think the Baltimore Blazikens do have the 2nd best draft team in this draft of 10 in Mega Ruby division. Pardon me. There we go. I need to change this. This is Omega. So yeah, so I do think that this team is insane. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple holes here and there, but let's get into his positives. A really good Dragon Fairy Steel Core, Scizor or Matisse Latias, a really good Fire Water Grass Core. I guess Goddle is still a goat. He does have a Stealth Rock user and a good Defogger. Miltank's still a very good Stealth Rocker with a really good speed stat and a good defense stat. Volibee is pretty underrated, as well as Golbat. So he has very, very good like reliables. This thing gets defog as well. Like he has very, very good mons. He has really good speed stats. He has priority. He has almost everything. He has Volt Turn. He has Stealth Rock users viable. He can run status on anything. It'd be very, very hard for his team. But I do think his team does lack offensive power. Don't get me wrong, Latias and Fernape Scizor are amazing, but I feel like Latias is more of a utility mon, and if he runs at Scarf, he does lose that. Instead of 130 special attack, he has 110. And Fernape is a very good mix attacker, but it can be easily walled off or something, and it's pretty predictable. He can run mix, he can run a choice Scarf. It's not that predictable, but like it's pretty easily walled, and like if you get him on the right set. Rotom's a very good pivot. It's very, very good defensive wise. Like he has a very good defensive lead team, like special defensive and defensive. But a lot of things, like some stuff might hurt him. Ground types could really, really hurt him. Especially like with my team, I have 2 Mold Breaker mons. It could really put in some work against him. As well as like I feel like if he just gets wall break by a good setup mon, he can really, really get not destroyed, but he can really, really lose a lot of his checks, because I feel like he has one check for one thing. Like I don't think another like sweeping at fire roll like in a fighting type, because he only has like one type like kind of per like slot that he kind of wants. But I only feel like that like in Fernape can only feel like that bulky roll like he wants if he needs that week. Or Latias can't really fill that sweeping role as well as like a sweeping psychic type. But other than that, I do think his team is overall very, very good. Like his type synergy is amazing. His like synergy like between mons is really, really good. It's just very, very hard to like pick around. But if you get like the right chip, he doesn't have insane reliable recovery. His Wish Pass Aromatisse, but it's very, very passive and easy to get set up on. But other than that, like I do think he has like the best team in. 2nd best team in the league. So going into number 1, I do think Toronto Talonflames. Oops, that's me. Toronto Talonflames have the best. What the heck? Why can't I click these? Go. Yes, the Toronto Talonflames do have the best draft team in Omega Ruby this season of SEL Season 6. And their coach Patoy the boy. His team is just amazing. He was asking me what to do. Q and Black Lando both insane, most dominant threats in the OU meta. it can really hurt both everyone. It's really hard to prep for. Manaphy overall just soaks up all of his weaknesses. His ice weakness, Q and Black's fighting weakness gets soaked up by Lando. Like, he just covers the wall. Mandibuzz, the best defogger, one of the best defoggers in the game. So bulky. And Galvantula really with sticky webs really help Q and Black. But here I think Pit has some defaults because, like, these 4 picks, I feel like he could have definitely got a lot of value picks. Like, Blaziken's not great at all. Armaldo's okay as a Stealth Dog user. Other than that, he has to bring Lando as a Stealth Dog user or Armaldo. Mesprit's pretty really good defense, bulky wise, and Haunter's pretty good, like offensively wise. Audino just is there to wish pass and be a special wall, and he has a really decent core. He doesn't have a good steel type though. He doesn't have a steel type at all, sorry, to finish that Fairy Steel Dragon core, but he doesn't really need it to be honest. Wishing Audino Omega to heal up Manaphy, Mandibuzz, Lando, Q and Black is so threatening, and prepping for Q and Black and Lando on the same team is very threatening. I do not know how we gave him this insane team, but I do feel like these 3 picks could definitely be better. Like, you could definitely swapped Blaziken for Emboar. I do think Emboar is a lot better than Blaziken. But overall, his speed stats are very good. He can run Scarf, Q and Black, or Scarf. Lando, you have to really be careful. It could be just mixed up every single week. It's very scaring against his team. But yeah, there's not a lot to say about Pit. I guess a lot of it, Pokemon's can really get chipped on because Q and Black and Lando really do not have reliable recovery. Same with Manaphy. Stealth can really hurt Mandibuzz and Galvantula switching in every single time. You can really dwindle down his team, and I feel like that's how you're going to break it. He doesn't have the best walls to deal with wall breakers. Like, if a fast wall breaker I guess Rotom Watch does pretty well against it. Greninja, like Heatran does pretty well against it. Like against Q and Black, so but like other than that, like you can get like Infernape under there, you can get like some good fire types or something just to get in there and really do some damage. If you get something lucky like a crit or something, you could really hurt him, because I feel like his type synergy is very linear as well as same as the Baltimore Blazikens, but he does have a very good Volturn core and Lando and Galvantula. I think it's one of the best. But yeah, other than that, I do think he does have the best team in the league. So going on to, so hopefully Pit, you do very well in this league, having the number 1 ranked in my power rankings. Like I said before, guys, as a disclaimer, I do think that everyone still has a very fair chance to win this league, even though you might be at the bottom or be on the top of the power rankings. But hopefully I'll see you for week 1 of my, I'll see you for the power rankings for Alpha Sapphire. So going over, I do put New York New Cosmos at number 10, Percordif Meeks at number 9, I do put Ashburn Snorlaxes at number 8. California Cactuans are coming in at number 7. The Hamilton Houndoons at number 6. The Summit Sceptiles at number 5. The Delta Dragonaires, number 4. Dallas Metagross's number 3. Baltimore Blazikens at number 2. And Toronto Talonflames wrapping up with number 1. So hopefully you guys, you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't offend all of you guys in SEL. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in power rankings for Alpha Sapphire. Goodbye.